Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Just coming at you with another video. We're going to talk about today is what it means to be strong, what it means to be tough. Because I think that there's a lot of misconceptions in society, especially right now, with certain people's ideas of what that is. So, we have people like Wes Watson. And look, is the guy physically strong? Probably. I mean, he's a big dude. He's got big muscles. I'm sure he can lift a lot of weight. I know he goes to the gym regularly. Is being strong and tough, having a lot of money and having a lot of women in status like Andrew Tate think? Is it owning a bunch of real estate like Grant Cardone thinks? Is it being great at sales like Andy Elliott thinks? I think that there's an element of truth in all of that. Yeah, having big muscles is good. Being able to lift heavy stuff is good. Owning real estate is great. Being good at sales is a very important skill. Having women in status can be a great thing, but strength is something that is a virtue. Meaning it's something that needs to be able to be applied in a wide variety of endeavors. My definition of strength is adhering to the best of your ability a set of core values and principles that are rooted in wisdom that has stood the test of time. And that's something that's very central to the philosophy of many martial arts. We'll talk about jiu-jitsu being one of them. Because what we have here, what we see today, we see a lot of people that are great fighters, great martial artists. They win tournaments, they win MMA fights, and they're excellent, skilled competitors. But a lot of people that do martial arts, I don't want to say a lot, but there are some who do it and that are disconnected from the philosophy from it. And, martial arts is a great power. Martial arts takes a lot more strength than weightlifting does, being physically fit. Not to say that being physically fit and weightlifting don't take strength, because they absolutely do. But martial arts is on a whole nother level, because when you spar, whether it's boxing or Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu or wrestling or anything, karate, Shotokan, whatever, you are getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. You're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. You're learning to overcome and go with resistance. And that's a very it's on another level. And those type of activities, or that type of a lifestyle, if applied, if you understand what you're really doing, and I'm not saying that I do. I'm not saying that I am a student who is learning, who is open to learning. being teachable, but learning to apply these principles in all of my affairs. Is what I think strength is. You know, being able to, it's a daily adherence to the principles that are rooted in wisdom that has stood the test of time. I don't know where I mean that's my own definition. I think an example of this is doing the right thing over doing what's best for you in the short term. I'll give a short little example of what I mean by that in my own life. I got a Cane Corso, and I paid a lot of money for the dog, and the dog wasn't really up to my standards. It was a fearful dog. It was a dog that was lacking in confidence. You know, all very timid, all character traits that's not indicative of that breed. So I contacted the breeder. He said that he would give me a replacement. And I said, well, what's going to happen to this dog? And he said, well, I'm just going to breed her, or I'm going to sell her to another breeder. And I said, well, she really shouldn't be bred. I mean, she's timid, she's scared, she doesn't have much drive, she's lacking in confidence. He said, no, he's like, you just want a badass dog, you want a super high drive guard dog, and, a lot of people would want this dog. I said, I agree with you, but she would be good as a pet, not as a dog to be bred. She doesn't fit the standard of the breed. And he had a dog that was exceptional quality, that would have been everything I ever wanted, and he was going to give me that dog in exchange for the one I had, but that dog was going to get bred, the one that I didn't want to get bred. So I turned him down, and I sacrificed getting what I want to do what I knew was right by the breed. If you love a dog breed, if you love dogs in general, you want to do what's best for dogs. Some dogs just shouldn't be bred, and it's not to say that they're a bad dog or anything, it's just to say that they're not up to the standard for what that breed is supposed to be. And, so that's just an example of something like that. Another example, Lyle Alzado was a great football player, played defensive end for the Denver Broncos, the Cleveland Browns, and most notably the Oakland Raiders. Now the Las Vegas Raiders, but back then it was Oakland. He was I believe a 3-time All-Pro, had over 100 career sacks, won the Super Bowl, was NFL Defensive Player of the Year, was NFL Comeback Player of the Year, was an All-Pro, was probably known as the most feared man in the NFL in the 80s. And right before he died, he got cancer, lymphoma of the brain. And he had been taking steroids. Now, most likely he would have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Maybe not first ballot, but he would have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. But because he came out and admitted before he died that he took steroids, he tarnished his entire legacy. And instead of being remembered for the great football player that he was, he's remembered as a guy who took steroids and got sick because of it. And why did he do this? He did this because he wanted to admonish people that are thinking about taking steroids and using his own life as a cautionary tale, so that in the hopes that that would deter people from doing what he did. Now that's an honorable thing. That's a strong thing. That's a strong thing because you're sacrificing your own, what's best for yourself and your own selfish needs for the greater good of a higher, of a principle that's more than just about you. And, you know, all these principles, they all work synergistically. They all work within a systematic framework. You know, they're all connected. Because the video I just made before this, whether it was yesterday or the day before, whatever it was, about, or not the video I made before, 2 videos before, when I talked about the wisdom from my jiu-jitsu teacher. You know, how he talked about, you know, a successful person is someone who gives back to society in a meaningful way that helps better people's lives. And that's what you want to create a legacy of. You want to create a legacy of being someone that gave a lot of value to a lot of people. And that's, in many ways, you know, being a strong person is living by but on a higher level. It's adhering to principles that is sometimes may, you know, thwart you from getting what you want in the short term. But, you know, if we want to change the world, we have to change the person we look in the mirror every day. We have to become the change we want to see. And I think that one thing that's really lacking in this society, especially for young men, and I know I'm not the only person that believes this, is strong masculine role models for young guys to look up to. And that's really something that we need. You know, I've recently really found that within my jiu-jitsu instructor, just by watching him, listening to him, seeing the effect that he's had on not only myself, but we're about to have our belt ceremony, but just how he's had an effect on hundreds of people. And all those hundreds of people, think about how the positive effects in their life, how that's affected all the people in their lives, personally and professionally. So see, when you start to change yourself and you start to get closer and closer and closer into the, you know, the ideal person who, you know, you want to be, the more self-actualized person who you want to be, you'll start to affect people as well, especially the people that are around you, your friends, your circle of friends, your family, you know, the people you work with, your clients, whatever. So that's what strength really is. Strength is just adhering, and especially it's adhering to doing what's right when it's hard. It's easy to do what's right when it's easy. It's hard to do what's hard when it's hard. And that's when you know if you're strong or not. And we're not perfect. And sometimes we fuck up, and sometimes we do the wrong thing, and sometimes we have moments of weakness where we lose our temper, or we, fall back and pick up a cigarette, or pick up a joint, or pick up a beer, or eat some shitty food. No one's perfect. And, to beat oneself up for that is weakness. You have to try to look at what were the things that led up to you making that decision. Why did you do that? Was it peer pressure? Did you just want to be one of the guys and do that? Or was it, were you out on a date and you were worried that you weren't going to get laid if you didn't take that drink with her? Or was it just, cravings? You were dieting all week, everything was going great, and then, Saturday rolled around, you wanted to eat a pizza. You got to start to get honest with yourself, but that's for a whole nother video. But this is just what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Stay tuned. Please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos.